Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casting the Spotlight episode number 188. As we sit here before you on the day of legendary professional wrestler Hulk Hogan's passing, 2 days removed from the great Ozzy Osbourne's passing.
Yeah,
And
the intro.
obviously, paid homage to him at the beginning there, and man, it's been a crazy couple days, and I don't know about you, but that is definitely not long enough to be able to process any of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I've started to, obviously, a little bit, but
the thing is, like, with Ozzy, not to say that I saw that it was gonna happen any specific time, but, like, I knew that he's been in bad health for, like, a while, you know? So, you hope that, if anything else, he's not in pain, he's at peace at this point.
He
He
lived
lived
for
a hard life, man.
that's what I was gonna say. He lived a long time for a guy that lived the life that he did.
Yeah, and I mean, he had Parkinson's there for a long time at the end that he battled. He had that spinal surgery that ended up going kind of bad for him and ended up kind of losing his ability to walk, and he couldn't even move there for a while after it. So, I mean, he went through hell there at the end, but yeah, man, that guy lived a life. In those 76 years, he lived a hell of a life.
Well, and just like whenever Nick was here, you guys, I remember just distinctly like us talking about it, whether we were on or off air, and him doing his last shows and like the bands that showed up, like the ones that didn't, all that, and that was just like a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
it's just like this is 2 days since that happened, and it's just like he got to fulfill what he wanted to do towards the end of his time being a musician, but like his time was up like right after that.
it's like I saw a post that was like, honestly, having your farewell show and then dying very shortly after is probably one of the most metal things you can do.
Yeah.
So that was, that's the Prince of Darkness, man. He was one of the pioneers. He really did, like, inspire and pave the way for a lot of metal music after him. Black Sabbath, and then even his solo stuff.
Then
Dude, Bark at the Moon, great album.
then he got kicked out of his own band and rolled solo for a long time after that.
Yeah.
But then he played more
People
shows.
followed, though, too.
But then he played more shows with them in like the 2010s, didn't he?
Yeah,
Pretty
I think
sure.
they had made up.
Yeah.
I mean, once they got older, too, like, yeah, Ozzy was still a crazy dude, and he liked to drink and party and have fun. But he was not the Ozzy of the 80s and the 90s,
No, his body, man, it took a toll. Took a toll on him for sure.
Even the 70s, like, that guy he was going a long time.
Because he was with Sabbath until 1980, from like 70 or 71 to 80.
Yeah.
And then he went solo and had a hell of a career too.
What was it? I think he came out, I forget what
That
WrestleMania it was at.
That name was gonna sell, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
What Mania was it at that he came out with a British Bulldog?
I forget.
And he, like,
Mania?
that's when he had the, the long blonde dyed hair. And he had, like, an open shirt, and he was just, like, nodding around, doing the tongue, and, like, I just remember people being like, dude, Ozzy was so coked up doing his appearance with the British Bulldog.
He was in.
That was in the heart of, like, the 80s.
Whenever that last.
The late 80s.
Whenever that last segment of like DX happened, he was there like with Shawn and Triple H, wasn't he? Like I saw a photo of that. Of him like in between them two, and like they were doing to the hard
That was
cam.
like 09.
Yeah,
I think.
like the last stint of DX. The Last Stand.
Yeah.
No, but
he'd been around in WWE for a while. If you really look at like his longevity,
yeah,
because he first appeared way back in the day.
Yeah, he was inducted, wasn't he?
I don't know if he
in the celebrity
isn't,
wing.
He will be now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of wild if he isn't, because I almost think he is, but I would have to check again. But even him, was a wrestling fan. Like Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore 2 coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know that. I knew. Damn, it's already the 25th tomorrow.
Yeah. Did you guys plan your thing tomorrow?
We freaking ended up not even being able to do it.
You should fucking come watch Happy Gilmore 2. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely watching it here. But I'm like, I was gonna watch the first one, not to get too off topic with that, but and I was like, I've seen it so many times though still that I could just go into the new one. It, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking I might if I could. But yeah, I'm gonna have some people, I think, and that'll be a big event. We can get to that a little later, but talking about the whole like Ozzy like connection with wrestling too is like, that is true. Like I saw so many more photos. Like he was in so much more actually, and at so many other shows that I didn't even realize until like I saw some of the posts. But like also whenever I started looking at more from the past, I was like, he was in so many different eras, and like he had so many different looks even when he came to WWF and was like attending or being a participant in the show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was the man. Speaking of the man.
And that was just like 2 days ago from the time we aired this, or shoot this, I should say.
Monday, yeah.
And then Hulk today, man. What the hell?
And
like this
Hulk
has been
Hogan today.
This has not been I don't know, man. This week is just, it doesn't feel like everything is actual like reality. You know what I mean? It just seems like something is. It just doesn't make sense, because it's like that's not even enough time to process like one after the other, and like these guys, I mean, like totally different, but like they influence so many people either way, and like obviously like even beginning to like talk about Hulk Hogan's influence on the state of professional wrestling, and obviously WWF/WWE as a whole, like who have always been at the forefront of the industry. His impact can't be overstated. You know what I mean? It's just Vince and him couldn't have really worked like without each other, but the fact that they did it and it worked as well as it did says enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it says like that he was such a credible and big part of growing that company and making that company big on like more of like a global scale. Well, I mean, definitely a nationwide scale, and then like as he was in wrestling, and then started to evolve. Like, and people forget it's like it's not even just the WWF era of Hulk before he went. Like he changed the industry again when he was the third man and part of the NWO, and it kicked off the next era, which basically led into the Attitude Era, which basically led into the Nitro era and everything else. I mean, that was only like 8-10 months after Nitro debuted, and that group was established, and like that kind of kicked off the next era of wrestling, which was the big boom in like the late 90s and early 2000s. And wasn't even just his impact in WWF, but it just, Stone Cold was always like my favorite of all time, but there's no doubt that the company and the industry wouldn't have been the same if Hulk hadn't like gotten his foot in the door and made it as big as it was. You know what I mean? And then they went through fluctuating eras where it was popular and not so much, and popular again. And you always experience like those dips. But I mean, Hulk, other than Vince McMahon, Hulk was responsible for the like a lot of the success in the 80s and the WrestleMania and everything after that. Like the first 9 WrestleManias he was a part of. So
yeah, he was really one of the first like mainstream characters to get over with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
People like knew him as a figure, It's kind of like you said, it's not even really like processed fully yet.
It hasn't been long enough.
As a wrestling fan, that like, oh, you're never gonna see Hulk Hogan do like anything again, you know?
Nope.
Which is wild.
And at first, that was our kind of, since this is so fresh, like in real time. At first, like I had to look it up on other sites and stuff.
I know.
I was like, or I had to look up like on Google and see if it was anything credible.
Because
you know what I mean. Like
I don't know if you remember, but like
there's been a lot of death hoaxes.
Couple months
Twitter
back,
used to always have death hoaxes.
There was some shit about
Jim Carrey,
Hogan
Adam
going to
Sandler.
the hospital, and like a few people confirmed it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "No, that's not true."
Or that he was on his deathbed.
They
didn't confirm.
Down. Yeah,
did he say he was
might
there?
Have been dying
he might have been
something.
in the hospital, but I don't know if it was on his deathbed. That's what the article was saying. They're like, "Oh, he's not doing good" or whatever. But like, and then everything I saw the stuff come out that say that wasn't true. And then from there was like quietness. I feel like for a few days, several days, maybe a week, whatever, maybe less. And then all of a sudden, this happens today.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what to make of it because like I looked down and I had looked at my phone for a few minutes at work, and then I looked down and I had 3 texts all saying that, and then I went right to like social media, but also like I started looking. I just typed Hulk Hogan on Google, and then I looked through some of the sites on there, and they, a lot of the credible ones were already saying it because it was like this would be one huge fucking conspiracy at this point if like all these places didn't say that he was.
Oh yeah.
That he was dead, and I was like, what the hell? And then the whole cardiac arrest thing came out because it was in Florida, wasn't it? Because he has a place in Tampa, I think.
Yeah, I think it was in Florida.
He's a big Florida guy. It's a great state, but
it's a bummer.
No, it definitely is. I haven't processed it, and no matter what, like I fully respect like what he did for the industry and changing it.
That's what I would say.
The times that he did.
You can't.
It was a part of two of the biggest booms in the history of the industry.
Yeah, you can't really be a fan of professional wrestling without at least acknowledging Hulk Hogan's influence upon it. You know.
Yeah. Real American beer. It's not bad, honestly. If people ask, like, and I'm like, that's not bad for like light beer, especially. I feel like it's on the better side for sure.
Yeah,
I would say. You'd rather drink this than a Michelob, right?
Oh, easy.
No, I know you. Always
I know
shit on
people would
Michelob,
probably
though.
like. Yeah, that's.
They're like, what?
Ultra.
Dude, there's some people that swear by Michelob Ultra. Like they're like, that's the best shit. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say that either. I would say it's a little better to me than it is to you, but
Amberbach,
like, I'm not
saying
hold it high.
Michelob doesn't make anything that I don't like. The Amberbach is okay.
Real American beer, though, for what it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
like it's probably a 7 or 8 out of 10
light beer
for what it is.
Yeah.
You say?
It's
pretty good.
A light beer, you know. It's not like,
good. But it's better than some.
It doesn't blow my hair back or anything,
No.
but it's.
I would say it's definitely better than some of the light beers, But
yeah.
That's the thing. I switched my shit up, and for the longest time I drank like Corona. So, but now I've been drinking just different shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried a lot of beers. I have my favorites. I have my go-tos. Sometimes I feel a little more adventurous.
He did make
get offered other shit.
He did make a badass can though.
Oh yeah, this is one of the coolest cans on the market.
I think so too. It didn't even launch until like around the Netflix premiere, did it? Or was it like last year?
It was probably a little before.
Yeah.
But it was not too long.
I know, it's like it's hard to find in some places.
Been doing a lot of shit in recent history.
They were gonna launch the Real American Freestyle, R.I.P. I don't know what's going on with that, like
I guess Bischoff will run it now.
I guess. Dude, it's just weird though, because like I guarantee
you pay tribute to Hogan in some way.
Well, I guarantee you though that what sucks is like Bischoff, I'm sure a part of him wanted to do that because it was going into another venture with Hulk, and they're like really close friends.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's like you also don't want it to be.
We'll have to have somebody help him out.
I know. You don't want it to be like, oh, well, now you're out of, because it's like, I guarantee a part of that, the way you hear Bischoff, like,
You think
speak about Hogan and stuff.
Nash will
I don't
come
know.
help him.
But it just kind of feels like, I mean, I'm sure he's going to have it's going to take Bischoff a minute to process all this shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he'll still do the podcast. I mean, he might talk about
Flair, I saw was pretty. He put out some posts.
I saw those too.
It's I mean, for what it is as a wrestling fan, it is undeniably shocking.
Yeah.
I
didn't expect it to be him. You know what I mean? Like, if something like that happened, that was just not something I saw coming at all.
I knew that he, obviously, his mobility was going downhill. He had a lot of back surgeries. The guy was in his 70s now. It's not like he's a young lad. But, not that I necessarily am entirely thrown off base by it, that I couldn't see something like this happening, but
it is shocking.
It is shocking because he just feels like he's been what he's been. He's been active in recent history. He's been he feels like he's been diving into new things.
He's always been out there,
and him and Bischoff are doing that stuff. I don't know. It just feels like he felt like he was still too active and in the
relevant.
spotlight.
Yeah, in part of something.
Not to have that happen right now.
I
100%
agree with that. It wasn't like it was, oh my god, that is the last thing in the world I expected, necessarily in that sense. But at the same time, you're like, it doesn't feel real. Because it's Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like, I know the Immortal is one of his nicknames, but it just literally feels like he's going to live for a long time. So when that dropped, I was like, it didn't even feel right. Placing yourself in the moment you probably saw it, I was like, it was I don't even, our first instinct, what you said too. I was like, okay, I don't know if this is true. I gotta see if this is true. Because it felt like nonsense.
I saw it on
initially, it didn't feel like nonsense.
Driving to another neighborhood at work, sitting in the passenger seat. I'm like, I saw it on social media for a second. I'm like, what? So I went to the internet, and I looked up Hulk Hogan immediately.
Yeah, it's just exactly, we did the exact same thing. Because you're like, that, there's something about it. You know what's crazy is if you see somebody else or you see, Road Warrior Animal passed not too long ago and you're like, oh, he's been out there and stuff and but Hulk Hogan, that just says something for his impact because it just doesn't seem like, oh, not that it's impossible, but it just that doesn't seem like somebody that's going anywhere anytime soon. You know what I mean? And that's why it was
I thought that there was
surprising.
At least a while.
Yeah.
I
thought we had inside of, for both Flair and Hogan, the way it felt to me was we had inside of 5 to 10 years still with both of them.
Yeah.
I thought that. And Flair takes probably worse care of his body and does all the fucking alcohol and stuff.
Say anything bad about Flair, but did you hear about the bar stuff?
No, for sure. I did. But I'm not trying to say that. I'm it doesn't make sense somehow because I'm like, how? I know he stays active too and he still lifts. But Flair also is just drank so much.
He still does.
And he's got 4 years on Hogan.
Yeah.
So it's holy shit.
Yeah, and he looks it. I'm not saying And I'm not, he's a legend.
Dude, Hogan looked older, but he honestly, just all these years, he still looked like Hogan.
Oh yeah,
He had
he
the whole thing,
the same,
the head, the fucking
hair, the
handkerchief,
mustache. I mean, that worked to his advantage. He had that shit back in the day.
He was selling. He had to be Hulk. Like he could put his name on a lot.
That's what I even said. Like the past couple years, I'm like, at this point, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, that's just who they are. That's who they know how to be. That's them.
They live their gimmick.
They don't have a personality outside of themselves at this point.
I feel like
they live themselves.
Terry Bollea could separate himself a little more than Rick can. You know what I mean? I think Rick lives and breathes. Like I think Terry was mostly Hulk, but I do think there was a side of him more that I think Flair, every bit of his existence, he has covered up Richard Flair, and it is Ric Flair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the difference in my. And I'm not saying better, worse, in between, whatever. I'm just acknowledging, I think, like what it is. Is that fair to say?
But yeah.
But I do think that.
See Terry whenever he wants to be seen, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
100%.
And like he's also like had time. He's been in a lot of ventures the last few years too. Done some different things. But like he's also stayed private from. I mean, he's made a couple appearances here and there, but he's also stayed private from a lot of the wrestling stuff. Otherwise, like he's just kind of been doing his own stuff, and he's kind of stayed busy and stayed like his name's just kept out there even after all this time. So, yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
It's something. It's definitely. It's definitely like, I don't even know the words. It's shocking. That's just all there is to say about it. Even if he was, obviously, he was hard on his body. It was the 80s. I mean, even before, like, the stuff they did, the cocaine, the steroids, the wrestling.
Yeah.
Just doing that.
Well, they were on the road 320 days out of the year.
Yeah, they were just road dogging it and taking bumps night after night. Literally in both senses. So, Flair was, like we said, he was probably even a little harsher on his body than some of the guys back in that era. But it still just doesn't feel like...
Dude, a cardiac thing
it was
too.
real.
Like, you don't know when that shit could hit anybody. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
You have because who's to say there's not
terrifying.
a little malfunction in anyone's heart that just
everyone.
at the wrong time, you're out. That's fucking crazy to think about. But it is like reality because like not that it's the most unbelievable thing, but it is absolutely not what I'm sure either one of us expected when like the day started. It's like that's why it just doesn't feel like real. It's like what the fuck, and there wasn't. I saw that whole thing about like the health update and stuff, and I didn't fully know whether to buy it or thought it was just kind of like okay, maybe he just had a little issue, something else. Like you never think too much of it because in your mind like it just feels like those two guys, no pun intended, but like they're just forever, like they're immortal, like Ric Flair and Hulk, especially. And from that era,
he is in a way. It's not like his legacy's ever gonna die.
No matter what, he's always going to be a part of the whole world because the industry would not be what it is without him, and there's no doubt about that. And I'm a hardcore Stone Cold Steve Austin person, but there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that the industry would not be the big boom of what it is today if Hulk had not been in the place that he was at the time that he was, in the spot that he was, being who he was and how he knew how to sell himself and get himself over, get the company over, make a fuckload of money, and they did, It's, so him and Ozzy will definitely be missed, but it's just hard to believe, like, this has been the same week in a matter of 48, 30, 72 hours, really.
I know. It's been a crazy, crazy week.
And we have all
when it
this,
comes
and
to
like
all that.
before all this, you know, I expected. I was like, well, we're gonna go into a SummerSlam podcast, and you know, we could talk about the build-up and stuff to that, which I'm sure we still will. But that's just kind of what you think, and then you just get hit by unexpected like life events, and this happens and that. It's like death, man. It's who knows? Like you don't even know. Like that's not something that you even. You know it's there as a possibility, but you don't ever actually think, it's not going to happen like an inopportune time or a time that, I guess it's always inopportune, but you don't expect it. You don't really ever expect it. You know what I mean? Other than if the signs are telling you, oh, this person's close, you know? But you don't always get those warnings.
No.
So, oh man, we had to pay some homage to him, and obviously opening with Ozzy was just a natural like move. I felt like, but
had to.
You know, he was the musician. I guess we can transition into this or that.
That we shall.
Crazy to do that.
I know.
So who's going first? I think do you read first, or do I read first this time?
What was it? What did we do last time here? What was the segment? Rock songs?
Yep.
I think you went first last time.
Okay.
Right?
It was Animal I Become and Living Dead Girl. I don't remember.
Actually, maybe I went first.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think I went first because you went second on Nick's episode for reading.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I went first.
So do I go first this time?
Last time.
So this would officially be our third wrestling segment on this pod.
Yep.
Third one. This pod, but the segment, man. So I'm sure we'll give some final thoughts later and everything we just discussed, but we had to acknowledge it. You know, it was there and it was glaring us in the face because we haven't had an episode between now and then. Crazy enough, but that's how wild life is.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't ever see it coming. So, well, let's continue with this or that. We'll try to up the ante here, but we are naturally going to go with Hulk Hogan as the main measuring stick in this or
now
that
it's
category.
gonna feel just wrong to take anyone.
No, I mean we'll see. You know, but I'm not saying who knows. I know you got them up there, but we'll see. I threw some in there, interesting ones, some good ones.
See if you threw some heavy hitters.
Maybe. But it's all your perspective too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, this or that tonight. The category is wrestlers round 3. Going into SummerSlam next week, which will be exclusively, basically, a predictions and discussion podcast, as you know. So no good, the bad, the shits, no nothing else. But we will be hard hitting with the SummerSlam questions and discussion. Yes. With 4 good friends. And tonight, though, this or that. The category wrestlers round 3. The main measuring stick is going to be the Immortal Hulk Hogan. And for the Hulksters first competition, it is going to be Hulk Hogan or Lex Luger.
The Lex Express, man.
They wanted Lex to be the guy to follow up Hogan once Warrior was kind of unable to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. He was he just kind of like how Brock was. He just did not want it. Once he kind of had a taste of it, he was like, "Man, this sucks." You know,
yeah, they had him
slam for him.
They had him slam Yoko, and
that was a big moment for him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be. He had a decent run in WCW also, though.
He did.
But Lex was pretty
I honestly thought that
I thought Lex honestly got too much criticism, and at times, he was better in the ring than people act like he was.
what was his name? The ego. What was it?
The narcissist.
The narcissist.
Yeah.
I thought the narcissist.
It was dope.
Cool.
Though. It was.
Yeah.
Well, he was obsessed with himself and his body and his look. And
I mean, like it was
great.
like not that it was cool, but it was like it was a really good gimmick.
No, for sure.
Like I thought that gimmick worked.
Well, because it was believable. You know.
He was just like all the mirrors, just like looking at himself and stuff.
But that's exactly what the gimmick would be. They wanted his. You know, Vince wanted his name to be. What did that doc say? Narcissus, something like it was a. It almost sounded like a Greek or Roman or something like that name, like Narcissus or something like that. That's what he wanted it to be. Instead, he's like, I don't know about that. What about this name, like Lex Luger? You know. Mm-hmm. And he took those from like different. I think one of them came from like an animated show and something else. And he's like, he put it together and he's like, what about this name? And because he wanted him to be called Narcissus, and they settled on the narcissist Lex Luger, which turned out to be way better because Narcissus would have been a character that lived and died fucking quick anyway.
That'd have been horrible.
Oh yeah,
it's one of
Narcissus.
Those ideas in the '90s that he just let's do this.
But it just Lex Luger sounds like a much better name to throw on a fucking like a wrestling poster, especially.
That being said,
yep,
Hulk Hogan for the win.
The Hulk. Oh man, he's going 1-up tonight. All right, well, next up.
I appreciate Lex though, and I appreciate that I feel like Lex, modernly, I will give him his flowers too, because like he's had a tough go at it.
Yeah.
If you look at him now, like the guy, you know, he's almost unrecognizable as Lex Luger, but like
he's a deeper
he
appreciation
owns his
of
mistakes. Yeah. And he appreciates still having a chance to better himself, you know. So I appreciate Lex for that.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan, man, he's got to take the win.
All right, well. All right. The Hulkster. We're going to have next up the Hulkster or Brock Lesnar. Speaking of Brock,
that's
kind of funny that you brought him up, yeah.
Dude, Brock was he just dominated the fuck out of everybody. Like, back in 02, 03.
Yeah.
And then when he came back in like 2013 to 2023? Shall we say? Yeah. He just destroyed everyone.
Was it 23 whenever he had that match with Cody? Yeah, because it was that summer he lost
with Cody.
Yeah, after he lost to Roman. Damn, that was the last time, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
that was Vince's boy, man.
For
a time, yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, we could say that.
He's a special attraction.
He's a special boy. He's my special boy.
Yeah, you love him.
That's But dude, Brock, he was a specimen, dude.
Yeah.
That guy. Just naturally, too. Like, I saw a recent picture of him. And I was like, oh, he looks good. Like, he looked slimmed down, but he was, like, lean.
Yeah.
Like, still jacked. So he's got that farm boy jacked.
Yeah.
Just always. I feel like.
Where it's like you can tell he's strong as shit, but, like, the muscle's not all showy.
Yeah. Like, you're like...
But he's got an insane...
If you look at him, you're like, oh, man, you
build.
don't actually want to start a fight with this guy.
Yeah.
Ever.
His, like, traps and his muscle, like, they don't even make sense. Like, he's got, like, 2 backs. It's just like, this dude's, like, fucking huge.
And it's crazy, too. Like, honestly, it is crazy that he was able to go to the UFC and whoop some ass for a while.
Dude, even play football again for a while. When he tried out for the Vikings.
He almost made it. He was the last one cut.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, he's absolutely a physical, athletic specimen.
Which to think is wild. He might not have made it far in the NFL.
Yeah.
But even if he made the team, do you think he would have still did the UFC? Or would he have stayed in the NFL for a while? That's what's hard to say.
Maybe he would have stayed in the NFL till he got cut, or if something, that would have been crazy to see him in like a season or something, and then still go to UFC.
Like a lineman or something.
Dude, he would be, if he
year.
had done that and been like even decent, like he would have been in the talks for one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Defensive lineman.
It's like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's still up there. He's one of the most credible. I mean, Minnesota already considers him the greatest athlete to ever come out of there, which he probably is. Athlete overall, not just,
I mean, off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, how many can you think of?
Yeah, exactly.
But, so who you take on that one?
Man, there was definitely a period in time, like when Brock came back, especially in like 2013, 14, 15, like that era, I liked Brock a lot.
Yeah. He was beating everybody at that time, it felt like.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Into like 15, because even that Taker victory he took at SummerSlam, or the Taker took him, that was bullshit. They gave him a half-ass win. and then he loses that on a cell. What kind of bullshit was that? And he loses the 0-2 one.
Yep.
Horse shit.
Yep.
Didn't like it.
Dude, that what was it? 02 or 03 when they had that?
I think it was 02.
That was a fire match, though.
Dude, Brock had a big year, though. Even his debut year. Like, he faced Rock at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
he
that
faced
was all
Taker.
fire.
He faced, like, Kurt and, like...
His, like, the beginning to that run was fantastic.
Yeah.
Once you could tell he was kind of checked
Once it was
out,
04, it was getting a little... He didn't give that much of a fuck. But, like, through 02 and 03, he was... Most of his shit was pretty good. Kurt Angle loves that Iron Man match they had on SmackDown. That's one of his favorite matches ever. And right before he went to work, it is like when I think his sister OD'd, maybe. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that, like, it just happened. And he was literally...
that happened, and then he took a fuckload of Vicodin and passed out for like 16 hours, and then woke up, and it was late as fuck, and he had a bunch of calls missed, and he, like, had to rush over and get ready.
That's crazy.
And then went and did that shit.
Poor Kurt, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the greats, though.
He is. That being said, man, Hulk Hogan for the win.
The Immortal, man. Hulkamania's running wild so far. All right, well, next up we've got Hulk Hogan. I know this one's going to be real tough for you. Or Natalia.
Well, that just kind of feels hateful.
I'm not trying to be hateful.
I know.
But, hey, some of these...
Natalia really is, in her own way, a pioneer for, like, women's wrestling, though. She came out of the hard dungeon. Like, she deserves her own flowers and her own respect. She's been around forever, too.
Yeah.
Like, she really has been in the game
since, like, the 09 time, right?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That being said, Hulk Hogan for the win, man.
The Hulk Hogan, I know that's a big shocker.
Yep. The man, he's running wild.
Next
tonight.
up, though, you might have some real fucking shit cut out for you here. You're like, I wonder if he's telling the truth or not.
Yeah, this is going to be some more shit again.
Or shit. We're talking about Hulk Hogan or the Honky Tonk Man. Oh,
dude,
man.
He was the longest reigning IC champ for a long time.
Who broke that fucking...
Dude, Gunther.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Dude,
it wasn't until Gunther.
Speaking of Gunther, though, like, he might be... Especially guys that, like... I mean, Seth's been there for a long time. Rowan's been there for a long time, and he's part-time now. So there's some guys that are great, that are, still kind of on their way out, like CM Punk, too, that I love. But, like... On the main roster that's still up and coming like that has such a future ahead, like, I don't know if anybody is above Gunther for me now. Because I'm like, his promos are, they feel real, they feel believable. Like, whenever he's, the best promo they do is when they have it on his face and he's just saying, like, shouting stuff and it's like with his accent and everything,
Yeah.
and like you believe, you're like, this dude sounds like he's gonna just fucking
It's
whoop
always
somebody's
the same,
ass.
though, and I
It's
love
great.
it. 'Cause he's
I
like-
love it.
He's like, he's not gonna
Yeah.
lay a hand on you until the time comes, but
Yeah.
he's like, but the bell will ring,
Yeah,
and when it
Yeah,
rings,
dude, he
I
is-
will drag you around the ring. I will
I
drag
will-
you like a
Yeah.
wet
I
towel.
love it, dude. It is. I can't even explain it because I've been like, man, like outside of some of those guys that are probably inside of their last 4 or 5 years, you know, that we all know and love. We hope they wrestle longer, but they might not. He is just, you know, he's going to be around for a good length of time still. And it's just like, he is, I don't know if there is anybody top to bottom that is better than he is right now.
He's one of
Other
my
than-
favorites,
other than the-
for sure on
The
roster.
polished veterans, we're not
Yeah.
counting them. But he is just, he's fucking remarkable. Like, he's damn good.
Yeah,
out there.
I'm
It
quite a
feels
fan.
real. His promos are good. He is a great in-ring, like, everything. But,
Yeah, his matches are always hard hitting.
yeah. They're always one of the best of the
And,
night.
like,
They are
believable.
always, like, top 3 of the night of the card.
Yeah, he always like whoever his dance partner is, he puts on a good performance with them. Like he has chemistry with it seems like almost everyone. His promos have definitely been better. He feels like he's found who he is as like a character officially. Like
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I kind of know what this gimmick needs to be as the ring general. Because for a long time, I've loved Gunther for like a long time,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
for a long time he was a little more like just quiet, hard hitting. Like he was just like, I'm coming to the ring to fuck you up. Like that's all that matters.
I love his promos now. Man.
But yeah, he's like kind of found himself on the mic now as well, where he's like he has a character before that.
my
But
love,
he's still,
my love
he's
for
still
him.
not a cheat. That's what
No,
makes him
no,
great
he's
as
a
heel.
dominant heel.
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
like,
a. He's not a.
I'm gonna kick your ass,
Dude, I love this shit that he said. I'm gonna drag you around. It's so fucking good. Like I'm like, it is unbelievable that he is this good. Like, and I know he's not like a spring chicken necessarily, but like, it is unbelievable like that he is as good as he is, and he hasn't even been on the scene for like an incredible amount of years. You know.
Yeah.
I guess he has to some degree, but he is, in my eyes, and I have always like liked him or on the been like, oh, he's kind of cool, and then I started liking him, but like as time has went on, like my love has grown and grown and grown, like an appreciation for like how good he is, because he is so
Yeah,
good.
he's one of my favorites on the
Yeah.
roster. So he wasn't even the top.
I know, he wasn't even
it
the
was
topic.
Honky Tonk Man.
That's fool's gold there.
But,
Honky Tonk Man, the guy with an incredible
he was
amount of success.
he was an Elvis impersonator, basically.
Yep.
That being said, Hulk Hogan for the win.
That being like, you're gonna pick the counterpart. Oh man. Well, next up should at least be a little more challenging, at the very least. But we got the Hulkster, or the Rock.
Oh shit, man.
It's a big one. That's a big one. We the Rock, man. He's never came up on these lists yet.
Here's the thing. I still appreciate The Rock. There's a lot of different eras of The Rock that I heavily enjoy. Out of all of the icons, let's say, within wrestling,
Which is who? For the audience.
let's put Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and John Cena up there. Right?
Shawn Michaels, the icon. You count that or no? Or
I
is
mean,
that more kayfabe for him? And you really mean megastars?
Yeah, I'm just kind of saying the most mainstream.
Yeah.
These guys are what people think of when they think of wrestling.
Which would be those 4 plus Ric Flair.
Yeah.
That's who I would. Those are the most crossing over. If you really want to count Andre, because way back when he also did, but he also, his life was cut short, so he didn't really get to see, a lot of that. But he was known on a worldwide basis too. But let's just say those 5 for the sake of argument, because those are anybody that's heard of wrestling or something relating to WWE or whatever. It is going to be one of those 5 that probably was like, oh, I know who that is, immediately.
Yeah. Within that, from a wrestling, fan standpoint, man, it's hard.
What, is he your least of the 5?
It's hard, man. I'm trying to, sit here and think about it, and I'm like...
Because my Mount Rushmore, and you're not gonna like this, would be those guys minus Cena.
Cena's probably my favorite one.
I know. No, I knew that.
Yeah. But
and that's not my top 4. That's just who I think brought the most box office credibility to the industry of professional wrestling. That's what I would say. Is that fair? Even you wouldn't argue, other than if you want to say Cena's in that too, you could.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you agree with that? Who else would outside, because the people you can make a case for that were also great, nobody's denying that Brett was great. Nobody's denying that Shawn was great. Nobody's denying that Taker was great. Or Andre for his popularity. But, none of those guys really had the long-term influence and box office credibility other than short-term than those guys did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, personally, it's no hate. And it might just be because
Don't you dare put Stone Cold 4th.
Not necessarily had the most experience with him out of all of these guys, but Rick would probably be 5 for me.
Oh, really?
It'd probably go Cena, Stone Cold, Hogan.
Yeah. You put Stone Cold above Hulk?
Probably.
Yeah.
And, it's tough. Those 2 are close for me.
Yeah.
In a lot of senses, and then Rock, and then Rick.
Yeah, that was definitely the most.
So in that sense, I'm taking Hogan, though.
Yeah.
But how would you rank it?
In terms of just what my fandom more.
Yeah, just your standpoint, I suppose. It's tough.
It definitely is. Stone Cold number 1.
Yeah.
But after that, probably Rock 2. And I'd probably put I would, and I love Rick, but I would maybe put him 5 too, and then maybe 3 and 4 for John and Hulk.
It's tough.
I would probably put Hulk and then John, maybe, and then Flair.
Yeah.
If I had to settle on it. Tough. That is very tough. But yeah, all those guys, through different eras, of course, too. And Flair, not always for, the top promotion, but a lot of times the territories and or WCW and or, whatever was the number 1 draw. And just an insane amount of, cultural influence did Ric Flair have. Even to this day, even to this age. And, NFL, NBA, you'll see teams, doing the woo and doing the whole, shtick in the locker room and shit.
Yeah, he's a cultural icon.
All right. Well, Hulk Hogan is whooping some ass so far, baby. Hulkamania.
5-0.
He took his vitamins, man, during this segment.
Oh yeah, he's running wild all over this.
He is.
Segment, bro.
Hulk Hogan.
Can he keep it up?
Next, or Alexa Bliss. You like it, dude? Honestly, I'm happy she's back, and
Alexa's dope.
I like Alexa more than definitely a large percentage, I think, of the roster. I would say right now, like the women's roster. I mean, like
She's cool.
I'm not saying that like I don't like a lot of them or anything like that. I like a good degree of the women's like talent right now on the main roster that I know. Being that I don't really know a whole bunch of NXT guy, or I don't really know a whole lot of anything of what's going on in NXT. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
it's one of those kind of eras where it's like, I know like Trick Williams is like the guy and shit, and I don't really know what else. I saw Taker like come out and choke slam him. Not to get too off track though, but no, she's been up there. Like I don't really know how I would say if I had to like rank them, but she's like, other than some of the four horsewomen that were, that have kind of like revolutionized this era from the last 10 years, she's been like right up there with them, I would say. You know what I mean? As far as like influence and like impact. Like it sucks that she was kind of off air and like gone for like 2 years, because it was like everybody's waiting for her to come back, and now she's as over as ever. Like everybody loves Alexa.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she kind of like, there's so many women flooding in all the time that it feels like she kind of is from a different era at this point. Like she kind of paved a certain way in her own way. You know what I mean? Alexa is really cool as a character, and even like the dark, I almost wish she's kind of got all that going on. Like I really enjoy the stuff that she's doing with Charlotte now.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish, since she had this dark stuff anyways, that she was going to be like part of the Wyatt Six stuff. But
I know, you would have thought that was what the plan was.
I think it might have been originally, because she had a couple backstage promos where like there was the Wyatt Six symbols popping up like on the screen, but nothing ever came of it. So, and they moved on. The Wyatt Six won the tag team belts, and her and Charlotte are teaming up to fight Roxanne and Raquel at SummerSlam for the tag team belts.
Yep.
So
they're gonna win
I
them?
kind of hope they win them.
I think they might.
I really hope they do.
Might. That would help too. Dude, honestly, the card so far looks fucking pretty good. And I really hope
does.
they keep up. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to like discredit. I don't think you looked at it that way either. Discredit like the two nights, but like sometimes it's kind of like you gotta load your cards up, because if people don't feel like both nights hit it out of the park, you're gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like with one of the nights, or you know what I mean, some of the matches. Like that's the problem with breaking it up. Before, you could get away with one day with there being a couple of duds, even at a big event like SummerSlam or Mania or whatever. Whereas now, if you're doing two nights, people are critiquing and looking at every single part of that show, because it's 7 matches. It's not 16. You know what I mean? Like it's just enough to fit the bill of like, I am paying attention to everything that's going on. But the cards have to perform. Like in ways, they have more pressure on them. But since you're splitting the talent so thinly by having so many more matches, it's harder to produce a better card that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there naturally ends up being one or two that are on the card that not necessarily are bad, but you're like, what the fuck? You wonder why certain things are on there. You know what I mean? Or they feel thrown together, or a lack of build, which we were talking about earlier, messaging and stuff. It's kind of like what I thought it. I mean, not that some of the shows haven't been good, but some of the talents are like getting billed for like the next show, and some are like a few weeks after that. If you're not paying attention to everything, it's kind of, you have to really try to figure out like what's going on which show, you know. I guess SummerSlam. I mean, I know what's going on which show, because some of the smaller like the PLEs or the Saturday Night's Main Events, they only have like 5 matches.
But yeah, a lot of the pay-per-views for PLEs in general only have like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Which is
but they have
kind of,
so
in
many
a
now.
way, nice, because they do have so many.
It's easily like digestible that way. But it's also reinforces the idea that you have to be all the more caught up in order to see all the feuds playing out, you know what I mean, on both shows. So that's like what in sometimes I think it doesn't really hurt mine though, because I'm just I've been in it forever, so it's like that doesn't have to have a weight on me at this point. like I could miss shit for a while, like totally. And like some of these weeks, like last week I caught the entire Raw and SmackDown, and like this week I have not seen everything. I
generally catch a lot of it.
Yeah.
But even if I watch it on a replay, skipping commercials and entrances and all that kind of stuff, I can get through a SmackDown and stuff decently quick.
Well, there will also be nights where like I know it's Monday and stuff, and I'll just come back and I'll be watching something into 7 p.m. or whatever, and then I don't even realize I'm like, oh fuck, Raw's on. Like I don't even think of it because I'm in my own world.
Yeah.
You know. But also.
That said, Hulk Hogan for the win.
The Hulk.
That's no hate.
Oh yeah, no hate intended. All right, next up we've got the Immortal Hulk Hogan versus Raven.
Raven, dude, was a cool character. He kind of felt like the grunge of pro wrestling. He was the Kurt Cobain of pro wrestling.
Yeah. That's how it was.
It's kind of cool.
He actually had like a lot of personal struggles too. Like, I mean, to perform a character like that well, he probably had some relatability to it. You know what I mean? Anyway, but you know, naturally, like your character on air is always 5 or 10 times more enhanced than your actual. Like, you want to bring your personality up to a 10. Like whenever you're performing like on air and like if we were playing characters.
Yeah, he was like within the 3 companies as well. ECW.
And he was in TNA.
WWE. Yeah.
But no, Raven, I think Raven is one of the most understated, like, smart minds probably in the business. Like, if you listen to his podcast, and he's had, well, I don't think it's his podcast. I think he's guested on some stuff. But he's also done, like, a lot of stuff where, like, he would work at, like, ROH and do some, you know, shoots for them and everything, and just talk about like some of the inner workings of the business and like how to get over and everything. And he is next to like some of Scott Hall's ideas too. Like Raven was one of the most just creatively sound minds in the business. I feel like, honestly, like especially through like that era, and you know, he's had a lot of personal struggles and addiction issues and stuff too, but I like Raven a lot.
Yeah, he was definitely his own character within wrestling. I appreciated Raven. He was a wild bastard, man.
Absolutely.
Why me? Why Raven? That shit.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Hulk Hogan, though, man. I gotta pick Hulk Hogan.
That match at WrestleMania 17 that Raven, Big Show, and Kane had, that was fucking dope.
WWF highlight.
He had some great matches with Tommy Dreamer in ECW.
Yeah.
Too. But
WWE,
that match was so sick. Like, they started driving, like, golf carts in the back and shit. Like, Kane, like, threw Raven through glass. And then he did that jump off the stage and all that shit. Like, that was such a sick match.
Yeah. They tore the house down for like 15, 16 minutes.
Yeah. That whole fucking card did, man. The entire thing. Even that gimmick Battle Royal. Alright, well, Hulk Hogan is doing pretty well.
Yep.
I would say up to this point.
He's running it.
And next up, we're going to go with somebody who is a big fan of Hulk Hogan. Bret the Hitman Hart. Or Hulk Hogan.
A big fan of Hulk Hogan. He's not a big fan of a whole lot of guys, man.
Well, nobody that, you know, that he thought took his spot or, like, that hurt him or...
Yeah. If he didn't like it for something back in the day, chances are he still don't like it.
Sean he's cool with.
He's got a little bit of a grunge holder. He's got his own kind of issues, and I'm not even saying that Bret doesn't have any reason to not be bitter.
His family's had a whole lot of shit pulled on.
He's had a lot of stuff happen to him in his life. Yeah. I mean, and the guy, in my mind, when it comes to just being a technical professional wrestler in the ring, There's almost no one better ever
Yeah.
than Bret Hart. I think that he's forever probably underrated in a lot of aspects. And to me, he's one of my favorites ever. Like, I think Bret is like, man, you can go, like, you can watch his matches 30 years later and still be like, damn, that guy could go, you know?
Yeah, it all made sense, and like there was like complexity to the actual in-ring work while telling a story at the same time. And like whether you lost or won to Bret, it felt like you got one over like when you worked with him because he definitely made you look good.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's almost no one better. So I think that's going to have to be the first one that goes out of favor of Hogan. I'm going to have to give it to Bret the Hitman Hart.
The Hulkster, man. But it's no worry. He's been fucking just smacking these people around so hard. All right, well, next up, we are not done yet. But next up, we've got Hulk Hogan or Bubba Ray Dudley.
Dude, in ways, like, even modernly with all the Bubba Ray shit, he's on what, that Busted Open and stuff, and LFG, and he's like doing all these different things still. And like there's certain things I see him do and I'm like, I see him saying, I'm like, hey, that was a good piece of advice, or he seems like he kind of knows what he's talking about here. And then other times I hear things from him and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you going on about?
Yeah.
It's all those guys. Mark Henry's the same way.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Mark Henry, but sometimes I'm like, dude, Mark, let it the fuck go.
It almost seems like they're like, have you been watching that?
No, I just will see clips or highlights or like.
It almost seems like they're just like orchestrating like drama though. You know what I mean? Like Bubba Ray, like, oh,
in a way.
Don't do that again. It's like I don't know. It'll just be like some weird shit. Dude, he's been going for a long time, and if I'm not mistaken, the Hardy Boys just challenged the Dudleys. But I thought like Devon was behind the scenes for WWE. Maybe he is. I don't know.
It seems like that.
It seemed like right. I think they challenged them to a match at like one of the next events or something, like the last time or whatever. Some type of like
what event?
But I'm like I don't know, like in TNA, because the Hardys are there.
Oh my god!
Again,
I don't know about all that. These guys are gonna kill themselves, all of them.
They should do a TLC.
They should. If they're gonna do it, they gotta do it right.
Yeah.
No, they really shouldn't do that.
Dude, Jeff's still doing swantons.
I know, but every time he's like, oh,
yeah. That's a long time to be doing that.
Yeah. After his body too, dude. He put his body through hell.
Yeah. Dude, those matches with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian were legendary.
The Dudley Boys.
Those are some of my favorite matches.
Tag team.
Those were some of my favorite matches of all time. Those DLCs.
All three of those tag teams, for me personally, top 10 tag teams.
Oh yeah,
ever.
They're top maybe 5. Other than, I don't know. I don't know if I put the Dudley. I love Edge and Christian too.
The Dudleys, man, they just...
My favorite of our era is the Hardys, but my favorite, one of my favorite of all time, other than that, is for sure the Road Warriors. That was one of the most badass teams. Actually teams of all time.
Yeah.
Hawk and Animal. They were bad sons of bitches, man.
Yeah, man.
But, anyway, yeah, Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I was always an Edge and Christian guy. I gotta go with Hulk Hogan for the win.
Yeah? I love how you say that as an intro to say Hulk. Edge and Christian, so naturally.
That you think of the Dudley Boys, you think of how they got their ass whooped by Edge and Christian.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we've only got one left. And Hulk, he's done pretty well. But next up, we have gotten Hulk Hogan or Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake is a legend, too.
Another legendary 80s. Even, I mean, he wrestled for that stint in the 90s, too. Austin 316, man, is because of Jake that he thought of that shit.
You know, Jake is one of those guys.
We met him.
We did. And it was kind of, in a way, sad just because he feels so beaten down, you know, in ways. Like, it's... But... Like I said, he's a freaking legend, man. And he is another one that survived hell. He's a recovered addict, and I mean, he was damn near dead when DDP brought him back to life, pretty much, you know. Jake is like one of those characters too that, like, in more modern years, because, like, you know, I watched 80s and early 90s and 90s wrestling and stuff even back in the day, but he wasn't one of the guys I really drew to necessarily. But, like, within the past 5 to 10 years probably, I really grew to like Jake's character when I go back and watch some of that old stuff, because I'm like, man, Jake really stands out if you really think about it, because he was quiet. He was like, he almost felt more mysterious and methodical and plotting. Than like anyone. Everyone was like intense.
He was more like compelling because he had like what do I think about it? Can you hear that?
I don't think so.
Alright, we got that figured out now. And so we were saying Hulk Hogan or Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've grown to appreciate Jake a lot more. Like, he was a much different kind of character in that era with the way his promos were done. He was great at promos too, but he was just a lot more quiet and felt like he was always plotting some shit.
Yeah.
He had the snake.
He wasn't like an over-the-top heel either, where like he actually felt like he had credibility to his character.
Yeah. Jake the Snake, man, is a fucking legend. And I love him. And I gotta take Hulk Hogan.
Hulkamania runs wild, man. Again. Because Hulk Hogan just beat the ass of that list. 9-1.
Yeah. 9 Vicks for Hulk Hogan.
Damn. Well. It's worth something. Well, let's see what you got for me.
Alrighty. Moving into your list, we shall see if this is a little tougher for you. I know this guy isn't one of your favorites, but I know you also can't deny that he's had, quite an impact on the industry and continues to, and he's had some pretty damn great matches himself, but is he going to hold up? Your main is Triple H.
I thought you were about to say John Cena, honestly. I like Triple H a lot.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I don't know where he would go. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know where you rank him. I don't know if he's in my top 10 or not. I'd really have to think about it. Beyond, even the first 5, which sometimes I have trouble with the 5th spot now. I don't even... I would really have to sit down and think about it. Yeah, but, I've loved a lot of Triple H's work. Sometimes... He's always been good in the ring, solid, but sometimes, the story is about the other person in some of his matches. It kind of depends, but he's one of the greats, and he's had a lot of great matches with different people in different eras in the business, which is really cool too, because not everybody got to transcend eras that way, Yeah. And he wrestled for 27 years, something like that.
Hell of a long time, and he would have wrestled longer too.
Oh yeah,
he might still be out there at WrestleMania.
He would have at least been having a match a year, probably.
Dude, his Mania entrances were fucking dope.
They were
unbeatable.
No, that's a good one to pick. I guess you picked a heavy hitter since I did. Yeah, since we were like, oh,
Yeah.
it makes sense though. But naturally, like, but see, those are good ones because you don't necessarily want to pick like, oh, who's in your top, couple, top 2 or 3 or whatever. You got to pick somebody outside, like, oh, okay, who are they a fan of, but you don't really know. And like it's different because these are typically like some of our guys that we picked before have been more of the mid card range, and these are like 2 of the top of all time.
Yeah.
Triple H.
All right.
Everything gets the Vince voice.
So first up, Triple H or Braun Strowman.
Triple H.
Want to elaborate on old Braun or no?
I mean, the thing is, I don't think he should be typecast into the I'm just a big monster role. I can't wrestle outside of like one feud here or a feud over there. I think like he can do more. There's still a place for big men, big athletes in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like I think me and you would like both say that. Like I don't think that just because Fabe or like I said it completely dyslexic. Fabe. That's wild. I don't think because kayfabe has changed form, it means that you should just completely abandon all the old things that used to work and like the big men aspect. I think you can still have big men wrestle in wrestling.
I mean, some wrestlers still kind of keep kayfabe alive, and it works.
Yeah.
Like people kind of get the shtick now, but they
they go along with it. Yeah. But people like to still see great stories and still, participate. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 100% though. I like Braun. I mean. It's because of the way he's been presented. There's no reason he still can't be part of the roster. You know what I mean? But they always do this thing where they'll hire him and then release him and then hire him and then release him.
Well, I think that his contract was apparently like a lot of money.
Mm.
So they're like, we'll bring you back for like certain times when you want to come do stuff. But his like legs were also kind of breaking down on him and whatnot, so he didn't want to go like full time. But, so Triple H for the win.
Yep.
Alright, so Triple H or William Regal.
The commish, man. You remember he was the commissioner that Jericho peed in his tee?
Yeah.
That was some good shit. Once again, you know where that came to fruition? WrestleMania 17. But no, man, Regal is one of the great minds I feel like ever in the business too. And like, if you're gonna learn the fundamentals and like the rough spots and like just, taking the bumps, I don't know. There's not a lot of people that are better than William Regal as like a mentor. You know what I mean? To teach you really everything, like about character work, about promo skills, about in-ring work, about being a heel.
Mm.
There's a lot of little things I feel like he's great at. So I think William Regal is severely underrated in the world of wrestling. And a lot of people, especially like wrestlers, realize how valuable he is, but I don't think a lot of fans do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Regal, but I think I'm gonna go with Triple H.
Alright. Triple H up to zilch. Next up, Triple H or Samoa Joe.
Damn. That's a little tougher. I actually did meet Samoa Joe at an LWA show back in the day whenever they brought him in for, an appearance, and he was like working with TNA the majority of his time, but they can still wrestle for other promotions.
Yeah.
And of course he won. It was, obviously the main event match, but it wasn't for like a title or anything. It was a special like attraction. And LWA was, if I elaborate, you probably remember me talking about it, but it was like LWA was basically St. Louis Anarchy before it was St. Louis Anarchy. And even St. Louis Anarchy had a gap where they were gone for like a few years and then came back like in 2015 when we went to that show where like Dalton was hoping the Young Bucks would be there, then they weren't there, and he was crying about that for 3 hours.
The
Bucks. What? No, and then the Bucks, they turned out like this, so.
Like this.
No, I mean, honestly, now they have fucking... I feel like that was a work, like losing their EVP status, like, because they lost them at All In.
Yeah.
It's in a match. What do you mean?
For sure.
And people are like, oh no. I'm like, what do you know better? They're like, I don't know that they're not in control. What are you talking about? There's some people that are like, they might be going to WWE.
Nah, bullshit.
No, they're not. How do you know that WWE wants them?
They wouldn't, probably.
I don't think they do, honestly. And because the Young Bucks will probably make more money in AEW than they ever will there anyway. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that you would want to work for them at some point, I would think. But, Samoa Joe, right? Samoa Joe and Triple H. I think that match, or Samoa Joe and Cena, should have happened at like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Like, there's no reason it shouldn't have happened or he was there. It's fucking... Think about how cool that would have been to see Triple H or Samoa Joe against them, like against each other. Samoa Joe versus Cena or Triple H at like any of the huge events.
Yeah.
That would have been a sick match to watch. Whether it was just a singles match or like a street fight type thing, it would have been sick. Samoa Joe is smooth on the mic. Samoa Joe has always been an excellent worker. Samoa Joe, like, he's a bad son of a bitch, dude.
He is. He just always has that look, too. Like, he just has the build and stature and look of like, oh, this guy could whoop some ass.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I'll tell you what he also had that I don't think Triple H has is a match in my, I don't know about 10, but maybe top 5, top 10-ish.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot
matches
of Triple H matches I fucking love.
Of all, but no, of your personal list of all time though.
Yeah.
If you had of all time, and who's on that 5 or 10?
He might have some.
But if you made a 5 though,
it would be tough. I'd have to really think about it.
But the thing is, Samoa Joe, I mean, maybe Triple H match or two would have a. I would have to think about his versus everything else that I've seen. But the match that Samoa Joe had with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles for the X Division title at Unbreakable 2005 was one of the greatest matches of all time. And that's not a hot take. No, that, a lot of the people that witnessed TNA in that era, that 05 to like 2010, 11, 12, whatever era, and even I tuned out before then. I was basically a TNA like 2005 to 2010 person. Like, just for whatever reason, I feel like because I was still watching stuff in 2010, but that was where I was just outside of stuff more than usual. And I don't even know why that was looking back. Because like I still knew what was going on generally, but I was missing some of the shows, and like you didn't see the highlights as much as you probably do now on social media and everything. If you miss anything, it's almost impossible if you're following all these pages not to see it, because then people share it, you're friends with too and stuff. So I don't know why then. I think whenever some of the decisions that like Rusev Russo, Hogan, and Bischoff made in TNA, like, and the 4-sided ring thing, like, some of it turned me off to, like, what TNA felt like it originally was over there, whenever they were doing the 6-sided ring, and, like, it was about the X Division and stuff, and it, like, started to change shape. But I think somewhere in that year, I was starting to tune out of, not even purposely, but if there ever was, like, a time period where I was, like, less involved kind of week to week, day by day with everything, it was probably that, like, year or two in that 10-11 era, maybe. But I was never, like, ever totally out of anything. I just, didn't catch everything as frequently. But I mean, Samoa Joe had one of the greatest runs, I feel like, in TNA, especially during its heyday. And he held, like, all the championships, and, you know what I mean? He was the man. Like, I loved that stuff. So it is tough because it's hard worlds to compare. And, like, a lot of the people I say all the time, if you haven't seen Styles TNA stuff, you haven't seen shit. of AJ Styles. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the stuff that he did there, even from back from 04 to 05 to like 2013, you've got to watch that stuff because you really have not seen who AJ Styles is. Like,
and even like, yeah, he had that, like when he first came to WWE, like, dude, like 2016, 2017, he was putting on some crazy matches.
He has, I'm not saying he's had no great matches, but
that was his like
his form has changed, and he was Mr. TNA there, man. And he was, and like, but I also was watching pretty damn early in that run. Like, I was watching all the way back to like 05, and he was like the man, and like I got on board because it was like growing, and he was growing along with the company, so he just kind of became, everyone knew that he was the future and he was Mr. TNA kind of thing, and like he was my absolute favorite, number one, like in 2006, 7, 8, you know, for like even the next few years. And then they started getting a lot of ex-talent like Nash and Booker T, you know, obviously Jeff Jarrett had already been there, Sting, like they got so many of the Steiner, so many of the characters and stuff. But Styles was like my number one. Like, I loved AJ Styles in TNA. And it wasn't, I mean, there was a time when, like, even if I had to look at some of what was going on in WWE, while I loved, you know, Cena and Edge and Shawn and like that, I'm like, man, as far as just characters all around, I'm like, AJ is up there with, if you had to combine, like, both companies, you know, for me. Even at that time, you know what I mean? So he was, like, definitely far up there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it would be like a number one type thing, but it's just like, even comparing that, definitely number one in TNA, and for sure comparable with the top 2 or 3 people in WWE for me.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, is what I would say. But we're talking about Samoa Joe. After all that and all that rhetoric and nonsense and all the stuff I just said, I think I'm going to go Triple H. And I love Samoa Joe, man. He's great.
All right, so 3-0 for Triple H. Triple H or Tiffany Stratton.
Probably Triple H again on that one.
Yeah.
But I like Tiffany. I think she's shown like a lot of promise for her career and her future. And I mean, she'll probably be another one of those that like wants to transition into like more filmmaking and stuff like that, like acting and
eventually.
You know what I mean? I think that's like something she really like has a plan, like has strived for to eventually get there. But I knew she figured out, like, you know, she's good at the business. She's like she's kind of a natural at the business in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, of course she is. She's still green too in some ways, but she's been in it enough. For as little as she's been in it, she's pretty polished for her time she's been in the business. You know what I mean? Is what I would say. But of course, like, there's always things, you know, you got to work on. But I do think, and this is no hate on her, because I do like her a lot, and like I would definitely side on the side of favoring her versus not. But I do think her run may have run its course. But the unfortunate part of that is, where she is really excellent in the ring and like has some other, you know, quirks and things to work out maybe on the mic. Jade's got a lot of charisma and excellent fucking look and everything too, but it's like her in-ring work is what's still got to be, and it's not even any fault to Jade, because like even to this point she's worked with some of the best in the business, Bryan Danielson and Shawn Michaels, and like a lot of the other people in both companies, and it's just like it takes time to get somebody not green that was green in the ring, and like she hasn't even been a professional wrestler all but like a few years, and she was like from the get basically on TV because they had to wrestle in squash matches over there. So it's kind of like they didn't really teach her. I don't know what they teach her. I don't want to mislead anybody either, but I mean, I knew she worked with Bryan Danielson over there, and you know, he's one of the best. For him and Shawn are like absolutely two of the best people that can still, you know, do a little bit and show you some things that you can learn from, you know? So you should be getting somewhat better, but I mean, I don't know if it's also like a size dynamic thing. Like, she's a physical specimen herself, and she looks an 11 out of 10, like in terms of just professional wrestling, like what a superstar would look like. But it's like, you got to learn, especially, you know, at this day and age too, like you got to learn some of the in-ring work to be a little better, but I don't know if that's because she has a significant. I mean, there are some like women that are taller or bigger or have a bigger bone structure, or whatever, but like she is so like dominant looking over everybody. So I don't know if some of that is why the disconnect happens in some of her matches. But like I love Jade, like I want Jade to succeed, but the issue with her running into Tiffany at SummerSlam is going to be, is she ready for the title either, even if Tiffany's reign feels like it's run its course?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
You know what I mean?
And Tiffany,
I like both.
Isn't what I wouldn't say she's one of my like top 3 women in the company right now or anything, but she's up there for me. Like I enjoy Tiffany Stratton matches and stuff. But yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from with that. It almost feels like, with both the women's titles on SmackDown, it's like the women's world title and the women's US title. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing with them?
Yeah.
Felt like that with the women's world title for a while with Io when she had it for a long time. It was like, yeah, she had the big win at Mania. Like, fucking give her a match at one of these PLEs.
I know. I don't know what the fuck like they're doing with that. And now Naomi, man,
Yeah.
that was deserved though. I think too. Like that was pretty cool. That we
Yeah,
talked
that was
about,
a great match, and the Naomi cash-in felt earned almost. I know
Yeah.
some people were pissed about it, but it was like it felt earned for
No.
Naomi.
I mean,
but it also felt earned.
I don't think it
because-
shortchanged the match
Yeah,
either.
they had a great match beforehand, and it would be like very believable that if she cashed in at that moment, they would be insanely vulnerable to
Yeah.
it. And
Oh yeah.
it would just be like that.
Oh yeah. That's what it always should be, because like if we're trying to suspend disbelief or some degree of it for sure, wouldn't you want to cash in at the most opportune time whenever you have it's a shoe-in to just, I'm going to go out there and win the title right now.
Yeah.
It's just obvious. Like you wait until the moment is perfect and you execute.
Edge, man, he taught us that.
Yeah. And that was one of the greatest cash-ins ever still.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Naomi's was probably the greatest women's cash-in of all time.
I think so too, for sure. I think Seth's is my favorite ever. I think Edge might be my second. I don't know. I'd have
that
to
was
really
the original.
think about it.
But that was the moment when everyone realized just how it could be utilized. Because you're like, it broke people's brain that Cena retained, and then Edge is like, nope, night's not over. It was like, what the fuck? That was cool. But yeah, Triple H on that one.
All right, so Triple H is up 4-0. Next up, Triple H or his good pal, Kevin Nash.
Yeah. A fellow Click member, man.
Yep. I'll be honest, like, this ain't even gonna sway your opinion or anything, but like, I've never really been like a huge Nash guy. Never that I've like not that I've like necessarily disliked him or anything, but like out of all the Click guys, like he's easily my least favorite.
I think he is even because like Stevens ranked it just how we ranked it, except I think he put Nash above Pac. But I honestly don't see it that way. I kind of feel like Pac, like I was more into a lot of his, even though Nash had some more high profile matches, and he did have some great matches, especially with like Brett.
That would be the most swayable one there.
But like, to be honest, Pac as a character, like I was more interested in what X-Pac was doing. Like a lot of the WWF stuff, and even into
bastard.
And like he had some great matches.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would probably put him a little above Nash. I would probably take Nash over, a good degree of other stars, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's as far as excitement for the matches, I guarantee I would probably want to throw on a Pac match instead of Nash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that, like I said, that would probably be the most swayable one for me, but like, yeah, I would probably still...
You probably wouldn't move on your other ones.
No.
Nash, or Shawn, Triple H, Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
No way anybody takes 3 from Scott?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Pocket 4 though too. I don't know. Like I said, not that I dislike Nash or anything, but I don't know. Sometimes he's the same way we were talking with like Mark Henry and shit and Bubba Ray, where you're just like, come on, bro, shut the fuck up. All those guys. Now they got podcasts where it's like, oh, well, this is stupid bullshit. They're just like out there bitching about shit.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna say Triple H on that one because my list is probably, or is the Click member ranking is probably the exact same. Dude, like, and there's even part of me that's like, oh man, you just wish Scott had more credible, high-profile matches for longer, and then the case for Triple H
and
would
Razor
be
was
better.
so fucking sick.
And then even the case against Triple H would be better. Even if he had half the accolades Triple H had, you'd be like, dude, Scott was the man. But like, it's hard. I mean, and also came with that with some of Scott's like issues, you know what I mean, too.
Yeah, that
and
was
that,
a big thing that held him back.
Same as like Jeff Hardy, and same as people that, you know what I mean, went through some stuff. Like, it could have been different, you know, but it was what it was. But Scott's still one of the great minds, one of the coolest characters of all time in the business too.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Alright, so Triple H takes the win. He's up 5 zilch.
Damn, it's fucking looking rough. Love for these folks.
Next up, we got Triple H, or that's gotta be Kane.
Ooh, yeah, that's probably the hardest one so far for sure. Man, you know, in Kane, like one of my favorite, maybe the greatest story. And Kane said that, I think, in his not his podcast, his induction speech, I guess. Or was it a re-inducted Taker? That the Kane Undertaker. It's what I said well before, like, he even said that and that. I was like, man, one of the best stories they ever told was the story between Kane, the Undertaker, the Brotherhood, and like Paul Bear, between them. Leading into that match at WrestleMania 14, like even beyond, that was one of the best, most nuanced, compelling, kayfabe or not, theatrical wrestling stories ever fucking told. And like a lot of that is given props to Paul Bear too, because I mean he told it, like if you watch that whole thing back, like it was engaging, like it was like top to bottom the way it played out, like the cool moments, like in the week-to-week shows and like throughout the months or whenever you'd forget about it, something would happen. It was one of the greatest stories of all time. Yeah. It was Kane versus The Undertaker. And, I mean, Kane had a lot of great matches beyond that. Like,
Kane when was Kane created for that story.
Other than, like, Kane's, like, first few years, like, whenever he finally took off the mask, he became instantly, like, the most interesting thing in wrestling again. Mm-hmm. It was like, holy shit.
I mean, dude, 03 Kane was a bad son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
04 even still.
It's
but like
one of the biggest shitty things is, like, the 3 people that never won a Royal Rumble that deserved it and or should have won were Kane, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. All 3 great, and none of them ever won a Royal Rumble.
Well, at least Kane won. He won a Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
Jericho created.
Kurt
the
Angle won.
thing.
Kurt Angle won King of the Ring.
Yeah, Jericho created the Money in the Bank and never won it, bro.
Yeah. Well, and Kurt Angle also went on Last of Mania too. Jericho did too.
Yeah.
But Kane didn't.
Nope. So they all got a little something. You see.
Well, they got a little something, but not what they deserved, you know. This is definitely the hardest one so far because Kane is, you know, very connected to my childhood as well, and I mean, it's tough. That is tough. That is very.
Similar eras and everything.
I'm going to say by hair Triple H. That one's close.
Triple H, man. He's running it.
Yeah.
Up 6-0. Next up, ironically, Triple H or Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the points that we were making earlier about Jake, I stand by. And I think he was, in a lot of ways, his creativity to his character, like what he brought from a personal standpoint to the Snake, like the character itself. And even later, like whenever he faced Stone Cold in the King of the Ring finals, and he did the whole Bible verse thing, and he's, all that. Like Jake definitely had, I would say, in an earlier stage in the industry, or at least in WWF too, he was a more layered character than I think most of those 80s stars were.
Yeah.
I don't think they had I think there were only a select few characters with the layers that Jake had. But I would probably have to rule in favor of Triple H on that one. The game!
Old Triple H.
Hey, he's not doing bad. He's whooping the ass. Kane was still the closest.
Yeah, he's definitely whooping the ass. Next up, we got Triple H or, man, just had his retirement match. Gold.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a tough one, too. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, Goldberg had, even coming back in 2016, like, I thought he looked phenomenal. And, I mean, he won a few more world titles. I saw a thing the other day, I don't know if you caught this or not. It was talking about, like, the length of all of Goldberg's matches since he made his return in 2016. All of his matches combined accounted for, I think, 67 minutes. Since he came back in 2016.
And that was
to
his retirement?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say his retirement match with Gunther was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was like 14, chunk 20. Of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a chunk of it. That's because he came through and he just fucking demolished people whenever he came back. I thought it was awesome. Honestly, even his return, whenever he beat Brock in that short of time, that was awesome. Like, 'cause it was like, that was whenever Brock had been beating everybody for like 3 years straight, basically. Yeah. So, I thought that was dope. But yeah, I mean, I have always liked Goldberg, even though, like, I mean, I'll, like, take little, like, I know you're a big fan of Goldberg, too. And, like, once again, I think this is one that maybe you are a little higher up on. It depended, because I don't know if we're actually going to go by ranking or not, but I've never, like, disliked Goldberg. So, whenever he came back, like, I was into it, especially because I thought whenever they ended with that Brock Goldberg match, WrestleMania 20, I thought that was a piece of garbage. And I was just happy to see Stone Cold stun him the fuck out of the business. And he's like, get him the fuck out of here. Neither one of them want to be here. Fuck them. And, like, I knew that both were incredibly talented even then, but I was like, oh, fuck, if they want to leave, fuck them.
Yeah, we were kids,
Yeah. So, especially to me...
That's the way everybody felt, though, at that time.
Well, maybe. Some people didn't want to see him go, but whenever neither one of them looked like they wanted to be there at WrestleMania 20 and they were just throwing each other around and locked up 14 times, it was just like, Jesus. But
yeah, that could have been...
That's why it made me happy to see Stone Cold stun him out of the ring,
Yeah. It's good they got to redeem that, though. The 33 match was much more to their standard of what you would expect from them.
The story, though, even him calling him back out and Goldberg coming and doing that was honestly sick, though. Like, that he did squash him. He was like, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
That's what you do. I read a thing, actually, the other day, too, that was suggesting that Brock, it was actually his idea for it to be a squash like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I wonder, because, like, he's a fucking team player.
I think Goldberg actually said that, too, on, like, Chris Van Vliet.
And to be honest, I wouldn't put it past him because, like, Brock, knowing who he is, like, What if he's just like, you know what? So if we wrestle this match, I get the fuck out of here sooner. Let's just go out and do this. Like, I mean,
it'd be like more shocking because he just
Yeah.
dominates the
Yeah.
fuck out of everyone.
and he had been on a run
Yeah.
since he had came back. Like other than like losing, Triple H that Mania match and like
He lost to
Cena.
Cena the first time.
Other than losing a couple matches at the beginning from like 2013 or 14 through 16, he was whooping everybody's ass.
And even then, with Triple H and Cena, he beat the hell out of him throughout that
Yeah.
rivalry.
And then he beat Taker and damn near all theirs. Like, so, yeah, I honestly thought that even though that was a squash, like, that was a well-executed squash. Like, the timing of when they did that, the slow minnow moves to building up to that match happening at Survivor Series, I was kind of like, is this fucking gonna happen? Goldberg after 12 years is coming back, and so I was kind of pumped for it, honestly.
Yeah.
But it was pretty sick. It happens now and then, but whenever you can execute a squash that actually, like, the fans, it gets over with everybody and it actually makes sense and hypes people up, like, that was cool. Like, that was well executed.
Yeah. Not making it the easiest on you.
Nope. I think once again I'm gonna have to go buy a hair of Triple H over Goldberg.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Those
I'm a
are
big
tough.
Goldberg guy. And
I am
might
too.
agree with you.
I like Goldberg a lot, and I would maybe take him over Lesnar. Like I know me, you, and Cody were all talking about this. I thought Cody would say Lesnar, and Cody said Goldberg too. I really would have put money on him saying Goldberg or saying Lesnar over Goldberg.
Yeah, he seems like he would for
But
sure.
whenever he was here though, he's like, yeah, Goldberg. It's like, okay.
All right.
Maybe he's one of those people who just got sick and tired of Lesnar beating everybody.
Yeah.
It was annoying after a while though. You're like, oh my god. He's just whooping everybody's ass in like 2014 and 15.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he really went on a run. I mean, even once it felt like he took more losses here and there, he still was Brock Lesnar. Like through like 2018 and 19, he still was like fucking people up.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
coming
he was
back
still
and
winning the
winning
majority.
belts and. All right, next up we got Triple H up 8-0. Or Charlotte Flair.
I don't care what anybody says, man. She's one of the greats of all time.
Yeah.
In the as
Definitely
far as
is.
women's wrestlers, not even just WWE, but like all around, I would say.
Oh yeah.
And she significantly improved from 10 years ago as well. So like that's how I know. I'm like her character, her mic skills, her in-ring ability, everything. Like everything she did got better and better. And I'm gonna probably have to go to Triple H, with Triple H for especially the nostalgia and a lot of the connectivity being at more of a dense scale, I would say, than Charlotte. But Charlotte is on my top like women's wrestlers of all time list.
Yeah.
And I do think, as opposed to a lot of the takes everybody else has, I think most of it is well earned because like yeah, she may be Flair's daughter. But, like, if she wasn't any good or you had to push her and she clearly wasn't ready, she wouldn't have been. And, like, she fucking earned a lot of the shit that she got because she was that damn good for a long time. And now, like, it's a good problem to have, but the women's division is so saturated with good talent that, like, there's other arguments now. And she's, she's got more probably behind her than in front of her, I would say. But, I mean, she's still, like, one of the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I'm not going to give her any hate. Triple H has been whooping the ass of this list, though.
Yeah. I would agree, though. Charlotte, undoubtedly, one of the greats when it comes to women's wrestling. Like, dude, her in-ring is just
That's
so
always my
good.
argument. I'm like, if she really didn't earn it, like, I could see your point if she was really mid or really bad in the ring. Like, and they just fed her 5 world titles, and you'd be like, dude, this is bullshit. I'm like, I can see your and sure, same as Sasha too. Whenever like they were there and they would trade the belt back and forth. But like if you really look at anybody with, especially, 8, 9, 10, really anything through those types of numbers of world titles, a few of their reigns were always, it was 2 days, fucking a week, 2 weeks, whatever. They're gonna have a few reigns. Even a couple reigns that John had were not fucking that credible.
No.
So I don't think that that's necessarily like a logical argument either, because I'm like, if you have to apply it to somebody, then it has to apply across the board too, because there's a lot of people. I mean, fuck, all three of, and I love Mick Foley, but all three of his reigns combined didn't equal a full month.
I know. Which
is sad. I think it was 28 days, so maybe 1 February. But, anyway. The Micker! And I always remember The Rock, like, in the backstage area where he says that. He's like, he leans back and, like, the camera, he's like, who the hell's the Micker?
Yeah, that shit's amazing.
Dude, their Rock and Sock segments in the back were fucking tremendous.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so next up, can he clean sweep the list?
Is this it?
Yep.
No way.
9-0. Triple H or the Ultimate Warrior.
Man, you're gonna make this. That's the thing, because I'm like, even comparing Warrior, like, and I do like / like love Warrior in ways, but I mean, all time, I don't know really where he would be. Like, for his stint of time, he was incredibly over and like full of energy and obviously a huge draw. It was like one of those things. It was just a burning candle, and it just didn't last that long. But I mean, even based on that, and like those hot years that he had, he was an incredible draw and a huge personality. And I mean, they wanted him to be the next big thing too, even before Lex, between Hogan and Lex,
Yeah.
And obviously he had his disagreements with Vince and contract disputes and things that he said he deserved that maybe Vince didn't think he deserved. I mean, you heard about all that too.
I mean, yeah, some of that stuff was it was a little outrageous though too.
Yeah.
He was kind of an outrageous guy, and for quite a while. The Ultimate Warrior as a character was dynamic as hell though.
That ending of his life, whenever all that shit happened, where he had the Hall of Fame induction speech, appeared at Mania the next day, and then made his appearance on Raw the following day, talking about how the Ultimate Warrior live forever, and then he passes away Tuesday morning. It was like, that was one of the most incredibly crazy chains of events I've ever seen. Like, in terms of how that played out. And, just a few years before that, Savage obviously passed away, and it was like a motorcycle accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, something like that. I believe it was something like that.
Yeah, I love Warrior. See, this is rough, too, because, I'm even disputing with myself. I'm like, man, even pertaining how close Warrior is with Triple H versus how close Goldberg or Kane were, because those probably would have been the other two, biggest, on the list to me.
See, and I almost, because that's the thing, I'm like, I didn't necessarily think that Triple H would be clean sweep in the list. I almost put Batista in this spot, and I'm like, he'd probably pick Batista. I think Ultimate Warrior would be a little bit more of a battle. But I didn't know.
But see, Kane, I was really close.
You'd pick Batista.
I was really close to picking Kane over Triple H, though, too. And obviously Goldberg had a back and forth battle. But I would maybe have to say Triple H over him too.
All right.
But see, that's the thing. I'm like, if I had to go back and look at it, not that I wouldn't say that, but I think it's I do think Kane versus Triple H is a toss up, because that's a hard one. You know what I mean? From a character standpoint, Kane is one of the most compelling, especially at his most compelling points that they've ever had. But Triple H has had a lot of good to, some of the most compelling matches that I've ever seen in WWE with the guys he worked with. You know what I mean? So, that's a hard one to me, and like a Goldberg too. But I don't know. I mean, if you want to call it a clean sweep on the night, that's what it looks like it is.
Yeah.
But that's crazy because I'm like, that's not something I necessarily would have thought.
10-0 and 9-1. That might be some of the most lopsided.
For sure.
This or that's we've ever had.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, I would say that too because those are tough ones. But yeah, Triple H, it's hard. It would be really hard to rank him along with like Kane, Goldberg, or even rank like Kane versus Goldberg, or you know what I mean? Yeah. There's some guys like that I know are just outside my absolutely elite, but still some of my top, that would be a really hard territory to try to rank beyond like top 5-ish, And Kurt, man, like Kurt Angle's up there too. I don't know where he would be, but I know I'd want to put him up there.
Oh yeah.
You really wonder what would have happened if like he had stuck around and gotten the help and like been able to have some of the great matches whenever he was still able to have great matches in WWE before he went to TNA.
Yeah.
I know, it would have been sick, man.
He still had some great matches in WWE.
He did. Well, he had great matches in TNA too. He was doing there's some stuff I probably should go check out that I've never seen because I just wasn't tuned into that era in the later part. So, but anyway, I think that wraps this or that.
Yeah.
And we've got the good, the bad, and the shits coming at you after the break here. So stay tuned, and we will see you momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casting the Spotlight episode number 188. And it is now time for a classic round of the good, the bad, and the shits. And do you want me to lead off, or do you want to?
Yeah, you can lead off.
Okay. Well, tonight, we have got, in the old good, the bad, and the shits department, what do you think of garage/yard sales, both hosting and shopping them? Mm-hmm. It feels like, there's so many, obviously, more ways, and you get shit just delivered to your front door, but, like, obviously, when we were a kid, it seemed like it was booming way more than it is now,
Yeah. I mean, I see them out there in the neighborhoods, too. Like, running the route and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you probably see them more than I do then.
But, like, I will say, like, seeing one or going to one, there's always kind of, like, a hype feeling around it. Like, oh, fuck yeah.
In case you find, like,
you might find something cool, you know?
I found some stuff there, man. I got my first Game Boy Color in a fucking I don't think I actually went with my mom, but she got it from like a yard sale. It was like $5 and it came with like some Gecko game, that Wolverine game that I was telling you and Nick about. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah. That shit was sick.
Yeah, you can get some hidden gems at yard sales.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had where like I've known, I think my parents back whenever I was like a kid had a yard sale, and like I got to toss some stuff in there and make some money from the stuff of mine that got sold or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the same thing, like Crystal's family had one later on, and I got to throw some stuff in and like get a cut of what my stuff was. But I've never like wanted to put on a damn yard sale. That just feels like too much damn work. Like, especially nowadays, it feels like a lot of people will sell their things online as well. Unless you just are trying to clear a bunch of stuff out, and then you're just like, oh, let's just wheel all this shit out into the driveway and fucking.
Some people just place piece by piece advertisements on each individual thing they have on Marketplace. They're like this, and I don't know. Maybe it works. Sometimes you come across a lot of scam bullshit on marketplaces. I don't entirely trust that either. Like, you can look at, like, maybe some items, they're not BSing you, but, like, I feel like cars and apartments are sketchy as all hell on there.
Yeah.
On Marketplace.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to be
that
moving
part,
into an apartment
no.
from Marketplace.
Well, and like it's people setting up fake places. Like before I got like in my place and everything, I was like looking at. I mean, and they didn't sucker me into any money or anything like that. But I was like trying because I was like, this is how the hell is this good of a deal? It didn't look too unreasonable, but in today's climate, it looked a little unreasonable for the cost. And I was like, how the hell is this only this much? And so they didn't get any money out of me, but they're like, you gotta do this. So they walk you along the process basically, and like just you do this, and then give me your this info. And I didn't give them like a bunch of whatever. It was just basic stuff. And then they're like, and then you're gonna have to pay this fee. But like somewhere along the chain, I forget how I knew, but I was just like, that looks so. Oh no, maybe I looked up the address or something. Either way, I figured out like. It wasn't even for sale, and like, oh, nobody had been there for however long. Like the guy was saying, I'm like, there's literally somebody living there, dude. And I saw it. Like, what are you trying to say that this place is fucking for sale? Like, what do you mean? And I didn't I just was messaging with him on whatever.
Trying to make some passive income,
That's
trying to lease out a house that's not really for sale.
Yeah, people do shit like that. But, I mean, he didn't get any money out of me, but I was, like, trying to figure out, because I wanted to know if it was bullshit or not. They had some details, and it wasn't, like, too sketchy on that front, really. Because I was like, people put posts up differently, so I don't know how, you know what I mean, if it was entirely nonsense or not, and I just wanted to go along with it. But just somewhere along talking to him, I forget the moment that I knew, but just, like what I was just saying, it's just sketchy, and... It sucks because there's probably real ones on there, but like whenever you run into a scam or two, you're like, maybe this just isn't the place to look,
Yeah.
But
it's Marketplace.
Not for those things. I'm not saying
Craigslist.
items or furniture isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
But like as far as apartments or in like the cars, I feel like some people try to fuck you on there with some car thing. I haven't been, but
well, yeah, I don't know if I would. I mean, if I was in a bad way, I guess I would do it or whatever. But
I mean, there's a lot of resources.
I just don't trust cars. People. I feel like they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, it works great, runs fine."
And those are the most people that are just like post, like they barely know anything about the stuff, and then they'll put whatever on there.
Yeah,
it's like you do not have to even do very much on there. Like I've never sold anything on there. Somehow I got banned from it for like a fucking week or some shit though, and I'm like I've never even sold or bought anything.
You told somebody their thing was shitty.
Maybe. Sounds like I probably said the word shitty on Facebook a lot or shit.
Yard sales though, man. I think all in all, in a modern sense, a little underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the community together, mainly the old people. They're mainly the crowd at them. But yeah, you can find some cool stuff at them, and it's just kind of like like I said, there's kind of like a little bit of an excitement when you actually see one, especially nowadays. You're like, oh fuck, there's a yard sale going on.
I used to really hope there was going to be some like wrestling guys that I didn't have there.
Oh yeah. That was the thing I always looked for as a kid. I'm like, where's the toys at?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a kid that lived here. Where's the toys?
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. And, like, honestly, I definitely think it's kind of like lost in, like, some people still have them, and I'm sure there's other neighborhoods that still yard sale a lot more than others, but just there's so many more resources to utilize to, like, get rid of your stuff or, like, to sell your stuff or whatever. That I don't think that that's always the go-to method, but some people. But yeah, I agree. There's definitely like I don't know. I always thought that era was kind of cool of like going there and like that exciting feeling. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like just whenever you pull up, you're like, oh man, I wonder what's here. We just go to like 4 and like on a Saturday or something.
One that just randomly pops up too is always exciting.
Oh yeah,
just seeing it like, oh fuck.
So what do you think they were?
Probably a little underrated.
Oh yeah, probably.
I would say. Certainly not overrated. I don't know in what sense they ever would be. I mean, sometimes people are ridiculous. They're like, oh, I want $70 for the skis. It's like, dude, you fucking... Are you kidding me? They've sat collecting dust in your basement for a decade. Brand new, I've never used them. That's saying something.
Yeah, they're fucking rusty. They just sat down here and deteriorated.
But most of the time, people are pretty generous. They give pretty good deals at yard sales because they just want to get rid of shit.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the thing. Most people realize too. Instead of being unrealistic, making some money back is better than making nothing. So like, if you're willing to get rid of it, even if you have to slash it, if the thing was $70 and you got to cut it to like 40, it's like, well, that's still $40 I didn't have.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like, I'll give you $25 for the skis, man. This is a yard sale.
You just haggle off that even price. What do you got?
Alright, well, I know we already talked a lot of wrestling, but this one came to me earlier and I just was like kind of thinking about it and I'm like, what do you think about white trunks on wrestlers? Some of the main, like, first examples I thought of were like
white trunks, exclusively, not pants or not anything else.
Yeah, were like Vladimir Kozlov and Bo Dallas had them for a while, and I did not like either of those. But then I was like trying to look up if there was a decent amount of them. Like Batista had a white wardrobe.
That was sick. Triple H, whenever he wore white, it was sick too.
Finn Balor. See, there's been like pants.
Oh yeah. Triple H's though that he had in all white. You could look that one as well if you wanted.
Yeah.
You've seen it though, haven't you?
Hogan. Yeah, I think so.
White trunks.
Yeah, just like, because in a lot of senses, I feel like it can look real bad.
Yeah. Well, those guys too wore something that looked like a piece of cotton.
It was kind of a diaper.
Yeah, it was kind of like, this looks like some fucking, I don't know, like whenever they're designed in like it's Triple H's, Batista, like their Orton's, all their stuff is design stuff. Like it's actually looks like tights, but like, you know, more of the trunk style.
Yeah.
But they're like, they don't just look like a piece of cloth. You know what I mean? I guess it's not. It's misleading, but I don't know. I see what you mean.
Batista wore them great.
No, for sure, and like Triple H and Orton too.
Yeah, Orton too.
Yeah.
But in some senses, it was too diaperish and kind of just plain. It's like,
what was?
Just the white
ones. Yeah.
The white trunks. It's never a look I'd go for.
I'll
tell you that right now.
This is the thing, is like if it was just plain white ones, like no, like that's fucking definitely overrated. But like, I mean, I think they can definitely look cool if you make them.
It's kind of a rare sight.
Yeah, it's kind of white's kind of like a special color to use in wrestling. It's not really used that often for too many things. Even like event posters and everything else, like a lot of stuff's black and red, blue, and you know, different variations of other shit.
Yeah, there's been some like greens and yellows and purples in recent history.
But so yeah, definitely there. But like, I mean, even like local shows, I mean, it's not even like, because it's just, I mean, naturally too, like most wrestling shirts are like black shirts with a logo on it too. That's like most of them.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like black in wrestling in general. That's what I mean, like black trunks, plain black trunks. So they kind of look.
Other than the canvas, pal.
They look more like normal, I guess, most of the time.
Because a lot more people have done that too, I think. Wait, who you said? Bo Dallas, and I mean, those guys definitely look dumb with them.
And Kozlov. Those are who I thought of just immediately when I thought of the white trunks. I'm like, those guys in those trunks were absurd.
I don't think that's why Vladimir Kozlov didn't get over, though. He didn't get over in the red ones either. Didn't he wear red? Yeah, he wore red for a while,
red
too.
after that. I think those were more kind of like, they were a little longer.
Mm.
They kind of looked like the boxer brief as compared
That
to
dude, you could see from a mile away that guy had a fucking zero charisma.
Oh yeah,
Chemistry really. He didn't have a relationship with the audience.
No.
That was one of the guys that people were just like, how are we supposed to react to this guy? Like they just didn't give a fuck. But
he wasn't bad in the ring. He
was
just like
he had no charisma at all.
He had what was the
it was
term I heard? He had about as much charisma as a bucket of sand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean that's like not.
Sam's got a lot of charisma at the beach,
him, but
so he might have less than that. Vlad,
Kozlov, man. He was kind of like, but that's the thing. He was just given that shtick too. So you're gonna be the foreign bad guy.
Yeah, at first though he was perceived as more serious, and then they're like, all right, who did they put him with?
It was Triple H. They put him up for the title.
No. Who? And it's like a team.
Oh, when he became a goof?
Who was that?
Santino.
Oh my
God. He became a team with eventually.
That's what.
Anytime that you got team with Santino, and this is no hate to Santino because I love Santino.
He didn't ever team with like Del Rio or something like that.
No, I don't think so. But anytime that you like teamed up with him in a serious sense and you guys became kind of a tag team, it was over for you.
Yeah.
You run, because it happened to Kali. Dude, I thought Kane was going to fucking fall into it for a second when he had
that
to team
would
up
have been
in
bad.
that like big team at WrestleMania. I was like, oh fuck, please don't. Like, that was horrible, having Kane in that match. He's out here blowing fucking trumpets with Santino Marella. It's like, this is the same guy who was wreaking havoc, lighting people on fire and destroying the McMahon family and shit.
Yeah.
A handful of years ago, and now he's out here doing this goofy shit. Dude, like I said, I like Santino for what he was, but there was a lot of characters you didn't necessarily want to see him work with. In a real, real serious sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the problem. Everybody thought it was so comical. And they he sold merch and they had to keep him there. And it was just like, now this dude's taking up a spot and he's just goofing the fuck around. The whole putting on the thing. Oh, fucking. What the hell was that?
Oh, dude, the Cobra sock sold like hell, though.
It sure did.
This little singlet.
Dude, his character. And then debuting,
he did.
He's a fan!
He did have some good merch, though. Like, his shirt.
Remember that debut?
Cool. Oh, yeah.
With the, who did he beat? Umaga? Oh, my God. Just Bobby fucked him up.
Yeah. Bobby, helped him win the Intercontinental title in his first
Oh, my
match.
God! A fan!
Dude, honestly, Santino surprisingly won more mid-card titles than you would ever thought he would have won. He won the Intercontinental and the U.S., I think, at least a couple times.
Damn. Well, they gave him that.
And the tag team belts.
He also had the quickest elimination of all time, right?
Yeah.
1 second.
That elimination chamber he had, you knew in a serious sense he was never going to win. But when he was in that chamber with pretty credible people and he survived all the way to the very end, I'm like, dude, Santino's a boss. He won me that night. I mean, I was already into him, but that night I kind of felt myself for a second being like, shit, man, it'd be kind of cool to see him win this shit. I don't know what would happen if he did, but it was, I think Daniel Bryan ended up winning.
It was cool at Rumble 2012 whenever Mick Foley came out and then they did the Cobra versus the Mr. Sacco though. Yeah, that was a great moment because I was like, dude, whenever I saw Foley coming back, I was like, I am all in, dude. There was a period, and I still love Foley, but there was definitely a period that I was like, I wanted to watch all his fucking hardcore matches like that I could find because I was like, man, like it was probably, I was probably like 12, between like 12 and 15. I probably watched I watched a shitload of like Mick Foley matches and Mankind and all the faces and everything. But because I was like, I want to see just all the hardcore shit that he did because like all the years like I'd seen all the big matches and stuff too. But I was like, I wonder if I can like dig deeper and find some other stuff and like watch some ECW stuff also. But yeah, no, I love Foley, man. I don't know where he'd rank. I don't know if he would be top 5 anymore or not, but he probably would still be in the top 10.
Yeah.
So, the original thing was what, white?
The white trunks on wrestlers.
See, like, it's good. I feel like if you're designing them and your shit looks good, those look good. But, like, this plain white ones, no. It just likes, like, fabric and shit. It just looks
wrapping a towel around your shit.
Well, it just kind of looks like some underwears, like tights, like the actual ones that are designed. They have them look kind of like they actually are tighter and they fit, like are fitted to you, like better. And those always look better. But like, if they're just trunks, like Stone Cold would wear, but like white, no way. You don't want those in white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine Stone Cold coming out in white trunks.
That'd be weird.
I know.
Him and Goldberg just in white. Just switch them up.
Dude, I almost think Goldberg, because like the characters are different. I don't think Steve would do it, but like if Goldberg switched up, I mean maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he couldn't, but like even his prime switched up to like 1 week, he just did white trunks, white boots and everything instead. Like, I don't know if that would look shitty or if it would look cool.
Yeah, I think he could pull it off little better.
I feel like he would. I don't know why, but
his character could allow it a little easier.
Yeah.
If he came out in like even red or something else, like I feel like it would be easier for him.
Yeah.
Seeing Stone Cold come out in anything but black.
Well, his whole thing with Stone Cold was like he was a pretty simple man, but he had the passion and the fucking, you know what I mean? Like he had the passion and the drive and the perseverance to like fucking stop at nothing, like to win the world title, to win, you know what I mean? Like it was like a whole
the takedown.
It was just a different, So like, I don't know. There's something like that. I feel like they are definitely different, but something about it too is like because Goldberg was so non-spoken for a period of time too. It almost feels like if he comes out in something different, it's like not going to make that much of a difference as long as he's presented the same way. You know what I mean? If they had him like suddenly start talking a bunch and he's in white, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" And, like he wore the same shit until then.
Yeah.
But what were we on the white thing?
The white trunks.
So overall, like the ones with or without the designs.
Yeah, just wrestlers.
I'm gonna say fair. Because I think it's because it's all of it. Like I think they can be made to look cool, but I don't think those plain white ones look good on probably anybody or almost anybody.
Yeah, it's a tough look.
So
especially the way they're designed.
Those are gonna look the nastiest too if you get some stuff on them. You know what I mean? That's the thing too.
You don't want to have a wet fart in those.
That's why that other material is not, how it's like not stain. It's like stain proof that like a lot of the other stores use, like Orton's and stuff. Like it's actually, I don't know what that's actually made of, but it's not like that. It's not like something that you could just.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say fair.
No.
Am I up next? Oh shit. Alright, I'm just going to throw this one out there for you. I don't think we've ever done this. It's a food one, though. What do you think of Salisbury steak?
Man.
Some of the cheapest steaks you could ever buy.
Yeah. It's the thing, like, I definitely
I haven't bought any of
them,
those recently, but...
I haven't, like... Not a whole lot in my life. have I really ate them? I've never went out of my way to buy them. I don't really know what the overall perception of them is, though. People know they're kind of cheap.
Yeah. It's kind of like really tender. You almost feel like it's partially fake meat.
Yeah, it definitely feels
Is
fake.
pretty much how it is. It's exactly what it is. But it's really cheap if you're trying to, it's a steak, but it's like the meat's not, like the sirloins, those are steaks.
Made by a fucking laser.
Yeah.
Here's the steak.
It's definitely like something like that. It didn't feel totally real.
Yeah.
But no, I don't honestly know what the perception is either. Like everybody that buys them knows they have to be.
Or something.
Yeah,
too.
they're very TV dinner-ish. Dude, like that's the thing. Whenever, and I'm not to that part quite yet in that '70s show again. But whenever Bob like goes to the store and like he doesn't really cook for himself, and it was after Midge left him. I just remember. Like he meets Joanne at the grocery store, and he's got like 13 of them in his. He's like, so he was like short spoken. He's like, my wife left me, and I got to take care of my daughter and this and that. And he's like, he had like a thing of 13 Salisbury steaks that he was gonna walk out with, but she didn't let him. But he said he was hungry. It's like, oh man, you can't.
Yeah, you could plow down a couple Salisbury steaks.
You can, but that's how you spend a fuckload of money at the store too.
Oh yeah.
Is being really hungry shopping.
Oh yeah, that's.
Should probably just get a meal and take care of it. But
that's always a bad idea. I've done it before.
Yeah, probably many times.
Like,
I definitely
looks so good. Salisbury steak, though, man. I'm gonna give it the fair. It's just one of those things where it's not seen as like you can't look at it and be like, oh, people think this is high quality, and it's actually shit,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's so bad I wouldn't eat it, but
it
is not even
point.
Like what I've been eating. I'm not. That's certainly not one of the things that I would get whenever I know it's not gonna be close to like the best stuff I could eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of those cheap, easy dinners. 2 minutes. All right, here's your meal. Here's your steak.
Yeah.
It's a laser steak. Whatever
made by a laser.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the fair though, because it's cheap.
They can be tasty.
People know it's cheap.
It's just faker than all hell.
It'll fill you up. It's fake steak. It is what it is. You can't hate on it too hard. They're not. It's not like it's like a real hidden fact.
But you shouldn't be able to cut up a steak with a fork. You know what I mean?
It's like the McRib.
Yeah.
That's basically a Salisbury steak.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'll give it the fair, though. I think.
Worthy. Those are some of the cheapest meals you can buy, man. They're like $2.
Yeah.
Dude, they taste good. Like with the seasoning or whatever they put on, like it does taste good. But it's like, this ain't nearly like the best shit you could eat. That's why I'm like, man, I need to get some more steaks. This sounds so good.
Alright, well, mine is kind of random, but this is one of those, this time of year, I feel like I find myself occasionally just like getting kind of blown away by NASCAR drivers all the time because there's no sports really happening and NASCAR is going on. And I'm like, damn, man, these guys are something. But it feels like NASCAR is also one of those stereotype sports. It's like, oh man, this is a lame ass, boring ass sport. A bunch of dumbasses watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, at the end of the day, those dudes are pretty fucking talented.
No, they are. They are. And like I used to talk that shit too. But
so yeah, that was honestly my whole topic though. Was just what do you think the overall perception is of the ability of NASCAR drivers? Do you think people because I don't know if people all the time necessarily see it as something that's kind of wild They're just like, oh, they're just out there on the track. They're doing turns.
I don't think I could do what they do.
I mean, they're going.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that's. It's not like you just have to know how to drive.
They're going over 110 miles an hour, like, consistently. Close together.
Yeah.
And that, too. And they're not even doing just the normal. I mean, they still have a lot of the normal tracks they race, but they're doing, like, street races now and all these other kind of things, too. They did, like, a dirt path one and a street race one, so it's like, feels like they're kind of expanding a little bit too, but it also is more impressive that the drivers can do those kind of courses. That feels like that'd be even more insane.
Yeah. The ability to?
Yeah, just the ability of NASCAR drivers. You can do your perception or just what you think.
I would say
overall perception of it is.
I would say the people that know, about it probably realize it is extremely difficult, but obviously, a lot of people on the outside just see it as, how is their talent there, or how is, you know what I mean?
I mean, it is at this point seen as a sport.
Yeah.
No, it's covered on SportsCenter and ESPN and.
Yeah. Well, if it draws an audience, like, they're gonna pick it up and want to broadcast it. I would say it's probably underrated, the talent.
Yeah, I would say so too. I think that like a lot of training would actually go into being able to control them and handle like a race like that, especially when you're going like at the beginning of races or just like single lap tracks and stuff. Like, you're close to other cars like at all times, basically. Going insanely quick. Trying to pass these people up and they're not trying to let you pass, and it's like that. It would honestly be pretty damn difficult. You have to be pretty good to be like winning NASCAR races,
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, getting ahead of that many people too. Like, how the hell are the people way back ever supposed to get up there? How?
Yeah, the placement on the track is tough sometimes, but there's always things that happen in races too. There's crashes and people end up having car problems and blowouts, and that always sets people back. Like, that's the shittiest part.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'm having a good race, you're in like third and your tire just shreds.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like back like 28 to 30. But yeah, I would probably agree overall that for what they do in a lot of those kind of automotive and racing sports, really, like Monster Jam, those dudes are kind of impressive, being able to handle big ass trucks and flip them and put them up on two wheels. And drag racers and Formula One dudes are super impressive too. Those guys are crazy. Just like all those automotive sports, though, like to be a racer to handle those kind of vehicles would be like, you got to be pretty damn good to be able to do it.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely like not something a normal person could just walk on there like a lot of them think and do it. But I mean, it's not, I guess, the same in ways as other sports, but I do understand why they like broadcasting consider it. Oh, it's like, oh, it's this big, this whole thing. Like, it is different. I mean, it's another form of entertainment. It's a competitive sport. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not. I mean, it is with their body, with their driving ability, but they're not obviously utilizing their body like the same way most athletics are.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't take talent, skill, experience, fucking knowledge to do well.
Yeah, it's definitely an ability.
Oh yeah. Are we done with the good, the bad, and the shits?
Yeah, we can't be.
Yeah. Or did you want to go another round or no?
I don't have any more.
Okay, I was gonna say we can wrap it here, and so after wrapping the good, the bad, and the shits, we've got a special announcement. We are bringing back the long lost movie swap segment after fucking probably 160 something episodes.
Yeah. Probably not remembered by many people at this point.
But yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the last time we did it was probably weird. The last one we wrapped was like number 20 or somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like most of them were earlier. But in this segment, we'll kind of give each other either, you know, the way we laid it out before was we'll give each other a film to watch that the other has never seen, or maybe seen once before but doesn't quite remember, something like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's one that one of us have seen, which is another interesting scenario where you're like, oh, I thought that was shitty, and you're like, give it another shot. If you were like hell bent on it, that would be a good way to pick too. But I don't know if there's that many movies that me or you swear by that the other one hates. Like, we have different tastes in certain things, but we also don't. I don't think there's anything that you love that I'm like, that's just a piece of shit. Or I don't know if there's anything that you think that about what I, you know, either.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of different scenarios, but it kind of sets this segment up. I guess we've just kind of always called it the movie swap segment, even though it's, you know, 6 years old with a 5-year gap.
Yep.
So.
It's been a minute. We haven't got to do it much.
But we're bringing it back for, on top of everything you've heard tonight, all the segments, we're bringing back this segment. And next solo episode, we'll be reviewing the films that we watch that we swap with each other.
Yeah.
So, I guess, what do you got for me?
Man, it's hard. Because there was like, once I started to really think about it, there was a few that I was really swapping between. And I'm like, you know, maybe I'll get a chance to do some of these later down the line if we keep doing this segment.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so I wanted to start, if you haven't seen this one, because I haven't even brought this one up yet. If you've seen this one, I'll switch it. But have you seen Snatch?
Nope.
All right. Well, it's a Guy Ritchie movie. Got Brad Pitt, Jason Statham, Benicio del Toro.
Okay.
But it's like, it's really cool. It's like a story with like illegal boxing promoters. It's like a lot of underground crime in the story, and there's like a diamond heist side storyline, and it's like part comedy, part crime, and just fantastic. It was one of those movies that I feel like I have to kind of watch again. That's why I'm sort of giving you this, because I'm like, it's one of those you could watch multiple times because there's a lot of characters and a lot of sort of different storylines that clash and converge and things like that. But it was just really cool. It was a well told and well made movie. So
yeah, I have not
Snatch,
seen that one yet.
Guy Ritchie film.
All right. Well, mine to you is a film I saw. It's probably for the better part of 2 years ago. At this point. But Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario from 2023. And the overview describes a family man finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. However, when his nightmare appearances take a nightmarish turn, or his nighttime appearances take a nightmarish turn, he's forced to navigate the consequences of his newfound stardom. So he's like fucking not really
Popping
anybody, and then everybody's he's popping up in people's dreams, and everybody starts like wondering why.
I remember
yeah,
seeing the trailer for that movie, I think, or something, because I sort of remember that storyline.
This is even showing it as like horror comedy, but I'm like, at times it was weird because they say that, but it's like it felt a little like dry, some of the humor in it, you know, and some of it was funny because like I get dry humor too, but like that's what some of it felt like. I'm like, so I mean in ways, but I don't know, I mean we can definitely watch it and then just kind of pick it apart and whatnot, but I definitely remember it sitting with me for a while because I was just like, oh, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it was interesting for sure. So I'm kind of curious to see what you'll think. So
That sounds like an interesting one.
oh yeah, I think it is.
Old Nicolas Cage, he makes all the different kinds of movies. So
Yeah, he does. So we'll
and
be
all
watching
over the
those.
spectrum. So we'll see how it goes.
I think it. So if we last reviewed it in, maybe like say the 20th episode, and we're on, that's like 168 episodes. Way different eras, man. But no doubt we will be back to review, talk about these films. The next solo episode, which is not next, but the one after, most likely. So, I do want to say, all due respect in the world to Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, for what they brought to their respective industry. They influenced, I'm sure fucking thousands and millions of people.
Oh yeah.
And, I just...
They had a
It was tough.
decades-long presence.
It's been a tough... It's like we said earlier, it's hard to even fathom that it's the same, even set of days. All this is, like, happening at the same time. So, I'm sure it'll continue to sit with us as these go on and, as time goes by. But I'm sure a lot of promotions and, especially like bands at their shows will be doing tributes to Ozzy, and they'll be doing things for Hulk, and we'll kind of see what happens. But that
rest in peace. For sure.
Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. Forever in memory, man.
Oh yeah, their legacies are gonna live on forever.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they'll always be around in a way.
Well, and all their music, the matches, the fucking, all that stuff's gonna be around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's furthering the legacy. Maybe real American beer will further American, the legacy.
Yeah.
Further legacy.
It might
We'll see.
might help the sales here for a while, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll stick around a little longer.
Well, anyway, we'll get through it. Next week is the annual SummerSlam podcast, so that'll be a good time. And
that'll be a lot of fun.
yeah, it'd be great to get back together with some of the boys and make our predictions and wild takes. I'm sure we will be, like I said, I'm sure we will be on some things. I'm sure we'll all be kind of in unison, and just the way the product has like changed too from last year to this year, it'll be interesting to see where everybody's at. And we haven't had Alex with Cody and this whole mesh up together yet, so I look forward to it. But ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We very much did. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.